Prepare to view the videos North Korea hopes to keep hidden from the world. What you are about to witness will open your eyes to the challenges and experiences behind one of the world's most isolated societies. The first video that North Korea desperately wants erased shows something that reveals their true intentions toward the United States. This footage surfaced just days after North Korea declared it entered a state of war with South Korea. The video shows North Korean soldiers in a field, methodically firing AK-47 rifles and pistols at targets. These are cartoon-like representations of American soldiers, complete with US military uniforms and helmets. The soldiers take turns shooting at these effigies with what can only be described as enthusiasm and precision. What makes this footage particularly significant is its timing and context. This wasn't just routine military training. This was a deliberate propaganda exercise designed to demonstrate North Korea's readiness for conflict with the United States. The video was clearly meant for domestic consumption, showing Kim Jong-un's people that their military was prepared to fight America. The production quality suggests this was professionally filmed, likely by state media, which raises questions about why it was later leaked. Some experts believe it was intentionally released to send a message to the international community, while others think it escaped through unofficial channels. Anti-American sentiment runs deep in North Korean propaganda, with state-run media regularly calling the U.S. imperialist aggressors in South Korea a puppet regime. But here's what makes this footage even more disturbing. Military analysts who have examined the video note that the soldiers' techniques and equipment suggest this isn't just symbolic training. The precision and methodology indicate they're preparing for actual combat scenarios. Current estimates suggest North Korea has between 700,000 and over 1 million active military personnel, while South Korea maintains similar numbers backed by nearly 30,000 U.S. troops. However, the real concern isn't just numbers, it's the level of preparation these videos reveal. The second video North Korea seeks to suppress reveals the stark realities faced by those attempting to leave the country. Allegedly filmed by an observer in China, it captures a poignant escape attempt at the North Korea-China border. The border is delineated by rivers such as the Yalu and Tumen, which freeze during winter, providing a pathway for defectors. However, the regime has stationed guards with directives to prevent unauthorized crossings. The footage depicts a mother and daughter cautiously traversing the ice, nearing China, when an unexpected event occurs. A single shot is heard, and the mother collapses. The daughter, now alone and uncertain, faces a dilemma: advance toward freedom or return. The video continues with border guards retrieving the mother's body. The child's future is uncertain. Returning to North Korea could lead to severe repercussions, while continuing toward China might result in deportation and similar consequences. This video stands as a significant example of North Korea's stringent border policies. While such incidents have been reported, this footage offers compelling evidence of the regime's measures to deter defection. It also highlights the challenges faced by defectors. Even those who reach China are at risk, as China's policies often lead to their return to North Korea, where they face harsh penalties. Over the past 75 years, only about 200 North Koreans have successfully reached the United States, underscoring the formidable obstacles and risks associated with seeking freedom. The third video North Korea wants forgotten involves Otto Warmbier, an American college student whose story highlighted the regime's treatment of foreign prisoners. Warmbier, a 21-year-old University of Virginia student, traveled to North Korea in December 2015, hoping for a cultural experience before continuing his studies in Hong Kong. The tour company assured participants it would be safe, and for most of the trip, everything seemed normal. He followed the rules, visited approved sites, and took part in the guided tours. But on January 2, 2016, as the tour group was preparing to leave, Warmbier was arrested at Pyongyang International Airport. His crime was trying to steal a propaganda poster from his hotel. Although this seems like a minor offense, North Korea considers any act against the state a grave crime. Warmbier was sentenced to 15 years of labor, a penalty that shocked the world. However, things soon took a more horrifying turn. In March 2016, shortly after his sentencing, Warmbier fell into a coma due to an unknown neurological injury. The North Korean authorities kept his condition private for over a year, only revealing in June 2017 that he had experienced a serious health setback. They explained that it was due to a medical issue, though this explanation raised questions from medical professionals. When Warmbier was finally returned to the United States in June 2017, he was in a vegetative state, and he died just 6 days later, never regaining consciousness. A coroner's report revealed he died from a lack of oxygen to the brain, though the exact cause of his injury remains unknown. While North Korea denied torturing him, a U.S. federal court later found the North Korean government liable for his torture and death, awarding his family over $500 million in damages. This case exposed the extreme risks foreign visitors face in North Korea, regardless of how minor the offense. It also showed how the regime uses foreign prisoners as political pawns in international negotiations. How do you think the international community should respond to incidents like Otto Warmbier's, where a foreign national faces severe consequences for minor offenses in North Korea? Let us know in the comments below. The fourth video shows the fate of a woman who was caught attempting to escape North Korea's conditions. The woman in the video had previously attempted to escape after her husband died from the living conditions in North Korea. Her first escape attempt failed, and she was sentenced to labor. However, the reality of the labor camps only strengthened her resolve to flee the country. When she got another opportunity, she attempted to escape again. But years of malnutrition and bad treatment had weakened her body significantly. She lacked the physical strength needed for such a dangerous journey, making it relatively easy for border guards to recapture her. The video shows her being blindfolded and taken to a location separate from where other criminals were being held. Later, a leaked image surfaced showing an unidentified woman being placed into a container. While it cannot be definitively confirmed that this was the same person, the timing and circumstances suggest a connection that reveals the ultimate fate of repeat escape attempts. This case illustrates the impossible situation faced by North Korean citizens. The conditions that drive them to risk everything for escape are the same conditions that make successful escape nearly impossible. Malnutrition, physical weakness, and lack of resources create a cycle where those who are most likely to leave are least equipped to survive the journey. The fifth video that North Korea wants deleted showcases a military demonstration that seems almost theatrical. The footage features North Korean soldiers performing impressive physical feats that appear more focused on creating a strong visual impact than on practical military training. The video shows soldiers executing various physical tasks, such as breaking bricks and cinder blocks with their hands and other body parts. Throughout the display, Kim Jong-un is seen watching, accompanied by his subordinates, as they observe their fellow soldiers showing extraordinary physical endurance. While these demonstrations are undeniably impressive from a physical standpoint, military experts question their practical value. The skills shown have little relevance to modern warfare, where technology and strategy are far more important than physical feats. The video seems to serve multiple purposes for the regime. Domestically, it highlights the strength and dedication of North Korean soldiers. Internationally, it aims to project an image of a military force so devoted and resilient that they're willing to push themselves to their limits. However, the elaborate nature of these displays also suggests a level of insecurity. The need for such dramatic shows of strength may indicate an awareness that their actual military capabilities may not fully align with the image they wish to portray. And before we continue unfolding this fascinating discovery, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share it with your friends, too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. The sixth case North Korea desperately wants erased involves Kim Dong-chul, an American businessman whose story reveals the dangerous world of espionage and the severe consequences of being caught. Kim Dong-chul was fascinated by socialist countries from an early age. His interest led him to pursue a PhD from Dallas Theological Seminary and later engage in missionary work in China's Yanbian Korean Autonomous Prefecture in 2001. His story is further complicated by his family connections. His wife's uncle was a cousin of Hyun Yong-chul, a high-ranking North Korean military official who was removed in 2015. These ties gave Kim unique access to North Korea, something most foreigners would never have. In April 2004, Kim and his wife arrived in Pyongyang with plans to establish a business. Kim invested his entire fortune of $2.6 million, and surprisingly, the North Korean government approved his request. He was even recruited by the government and worked for the DPRK Committee for Promotion of External Economic Cooperation, where he helped attract foreign investment and gained access to sensitive information. By 2009, the CIA approached Kim with an offer to work as a spy inside North Korea. After careful consideration, Kim agreed and worked as a double agent, maintaining his business relationships while secretly gathering intelligence for the U.S. for 5 years. Kim's downfall began in 2014, when a dispute over his business escalated into a confrontation with local authorities. His anger led him to make a public statement condemning the decision, threatening drastic action. In North Korea, such a threat was considered an act of treason, and the authorities began monitoring him closely. In October 2015, Kim entered North Korea for the 70th anniversary of the ruling party's foundation, unaware that the regime was building a case against him. He was detained, blindfolded, and subjected to intense interrogation. To protect himself, he named 6 North Korean officials as part of espionage activities, and they were never seen again. Kim was initially sentenced to the maximum sentence, but his sentence was reduced to 10 years of labor, likely because of his potential value as a bargaining tool in international negotiations. In March 2016, he appeared at a televised confession, admitting to working for South Korea's National Intelligence Service, though he avoided mentioning his work with the CIA. Kim's time in prison was extremely challenging, with physical hardships that left him with lasting impairments and emotional struggles that tested his resilience. His release came through diplomatic efforts when President Donald Trump helped secure his freedom. Kim returned to the United States, where he has since shared his experiences in interviews. The 7th element that North Korea once hidden reveals how the regime controls even the most basic aspects of daily life, including how people perceive time. The Juche calendar represents a unique attempt at cultural control. While most of the world uses the Gregorian calendar based on the birth of Jesus Christ, North Korea operates on the Juche system, which starts in 1912, the year of Kim Il-sung's birth. This calendar was officially introduced in 1997, meaning that while the rest of the world recognizes 2023, North Korea considers it the year 111. This calendar serves several purposes for the regime. It reinforces the central role of Kim Il-sung in history, creating a cult of personality around him. It also isolates North Koreans from the outside world by making them think about time and history in a completely different way. But the control over time is just one part of North Korea's extensive management of culture and creativity. Artistic freedom in most countries is left to the individual, but in North Korea, creativity is strictly regulated by the Mansudae Art Studio in Pyongyang. This state-run institution covers over 120,000 square meters and employs the country's top artists, all of whom are graduates from North Korea's best art academies. Mansudae Art Studio has a monopoly on depictions of the country's leaders. No other artist or institution is allowed to create images of Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, or Kim Jong-un. This ensures that every portrayal of the leadership is carefully controlled and approved by the state. In addition to paintings and sculptures, the studio is responsible for creating the monumental statues and landmarks across North Korea, including the towering statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il in Pyongyang. The artists working at Mansudae are among the most privileged in North Korea, but their work is bound by strict rules. Every creation must align with the regime's propaganda goals, and independent artistic expression is not tolerated. This system of control extends beyond the visual arts to literature, music, and performance. All forms of creative expression must support the regime's authority and ideology, with any deviation viewed as political dissent. The 8th video that North Korea desperately wants erased highlights the extreme lengths the regime goes to prevent citizens from encountering outside culture. Released by a South Korean research group, It captures a public sentencing that exposes the paranoia and cruelty behind North Korea's cultural isolation policies. The footage shows two 16-year-old teenagers standing before a large audience of students in an amphitheater, flanked by military-style officials. They are sentenced to 12 years of labor for watching and distributing banned South Korean dramas, known as K-dramas. These teens were caught with puppet regimes recordings, a term reflecting North Korea's deep animosity towards South Korea. The official stated that the teens had been seduced by foreign culture and had ruined their futures, underscoring the regime's belief that outside influences threaten its control over the people's loyalty and thoughts. The video, believed to be filmed during the COVID-19 pandemic, demonstrates the systematic enforcement of North Korea's cultural isolation. The public nature of the sentencing serves to deter and reinforce the regime's authority. The crackdown on K-dramas grew harsher as relations with South Korea worsened, with severe penalties for those caught with foreign media. The public sentencing of these teenagers is a chilling example of this intensified enforcement, especially since they were so young, barely able to comprehend the political significance of their actions. The South and North Development Institute, which obtained and distributed this footage, works with defectors to document human rights abuses, and the existence of this video represents a significant breach in North Korea's information control. The ninth spectacle that North Korea wants the world to view only through their carefully controlled lens is the Arirang mass games. The Arirang Festival, included in the Guinness Book of Records in 2007 as one of the most grandiose shows in the world, takes its name from a traditional Korean folk song about a separated couple. In the context of North Korea's version, Arirang symbolizes the division of Korea. But the regime uses this cultural reference to create something far more sinister than a simple cultural celebration. Approximately 100,000 people participate in the Arirang mass games, representing nearly 0.5% of North Korea's entire population of 25 million. The games take place at the Rungrado Stadium, officially known as the Rungrado 1st of May Stadium, which holds the distinction of being the largest multifunctional facility in the world. However, the 100,000 participants are not volunteers celebrating their culture. They are citizens compelled to participate in a massive propaganda exercise designed to demonstrate the regime's total control over its people. The choreography itself is designed to tell the story of North Korea as the regime wants it told. The performances celebrate the leadership, glorify the country's supposed achievements, and reinforce the mythology surrounding the Kim family dynasty. Every movement, every color, every formation serves the purpose of political indoctrination. The individual participants lose their humanity and become part of a massive machine designed to project power and control. Their personal desires, comfort, and well-being become irrelevant compared to the regime's need for spectacular propaganda. The regime uses the games to project an image of unity and prosperity to both domestic and international audiences. For North Koreans, the games are meant to inspire pride and loyalty while demonstrating the consequences of not conforming to state expectations. For international observers, they're designed to project strength and cultural sophistication. The 10th video, North Korea seeks to keep secret, reveals troubling practices involving young children engaged in labor that violates international standards for child protection. Hidden camera footage exposes a stark contrast to the regime's claims of caring for its youngest citizens. While children in many countries attend school or play, North Korean children are shown working under bad conditions. The footage, taken over a year in the Arirang and Shigang provinces, shows they working long hours in unsafe conditions. Many of these handle tools too large for their small hands and carry heavy loads that strain their developing bodies. Worse, many have not attended school for an extended period, missing out on education that could improve their prospects. In addition to the physical strain, reports suggest that those who fail to meet work demands face penalties from supervisors. The emotional toll is further compounded by forced participation in sessions designed to instill ideological beliefs. This adds significant psychological stress and undermines their well-being. This systematic exploitation reveals the regime's view of them not as individuals with rights, but as resources to serve state goals. Teachers are involved in supervising these activities, indicating that this is not an isolated incident but a policy supported by the education system. Child protection experts have raised alarms about violations of international laws, including the Convention on the Rights of the Child. The long-term psychological impact on these could be profound, affecting their emotional growth and ability to form healthy relationships, while robbing them of the opportunities necessary for a fulfilling future. Recent estimates suggest that around 60,000 children in North Korea are facing challenges related to poor nutrition, with many in danger of suffering long-term health effects. Organizations aiming to provide food and medical support often face significant bureaucratic and logistical obstacles that make it very difficult to help. Banks and shipping companies remain hesitant to engage with North Korea, as they fear inadvertently breaching international regulations, which could lead to serious penalties. While this caution is understandable, it also means that much-needed support cannot reach those who need it most. The few shipping routes that remain open to North Korea are tightly monitored, making it even harder to move large amounts of aid into the country. Even when funding is secured for humanitarian projects, the task of ensuring that the aid reaches those in need is incredibly difficult. Reports have surfaced that North Korea has been involved in unauthorized trade, including shipping coal to Russia, which is then transferred to other countries. This trade generates revenue for the regime, but it highlights the stark contrast between the government's priorities and the well-being of its people. The ongoing crisis in North Korea is not a result of an unavoidable disaster, but rather the consequence of government policies that prioritize military spending and elite comforts over the basic needs of the people. The regime has the means to address these issues, yet continues to direct its resources elsewhere. This situation has persisted since the severe hardship of the 1990s, when a devastating famine led to the loss of millions of lives. Even after that incident, a significant portion of the population continues to face hunger and malnutrition, suggesting that the government has not changed its priorities in the years since. The 12th and final revelation that North Korea wants deleted forever exposes the obscene contrast between the suffering of ordinary citizens and the extravagant lifestyle of the ruling elite. Kim Il-sung, the regime's founder, had an insatiable appetite for luxury goods and expensive indulgences. Few people realize that he was one of the world's largest consumers of Hennessy cognac, spending enormous sums on premium alcohol while his people faced food shortages. His annual spending on luxury goods exceeded $300 million, a staggering amount for a country claiming to represent the working class. But Kim Il-sung's extravagance pales in comparison to his grandson's spending habits. Kim Jong-un has elevated elite consumption to new heights, spending over $600 million in a single year on personal luxuries and indulgences. This figure doesn't even include the additional hundreds of millions spent by his family members in inner circle. The contrast between this lavish spending and the conditions faced by ordinary North Koreans is morally obscene. While the leadership enjoys the finest foods, wines, and consumer goods from around the world, people in the country face malnutrition and preventable diseases. Kim Jong-un's lifestyle includes multiple luxury residences, private jets, expensive cars, and access to goods that are completely unavailable to his citizens. He maintains a lifestyle that rivals the wealthiest individuals in the world, all funded by a system that keeps his people in poverty and oppression. The regime's spending on luxury goods could easily address the malnutrition crisis affecting 60,000 people. The money spent on cognac alone could provide medical care, clean water, and adequate nutrition for thousands of families. Instead, these resources are diverted to satisfy the personal desires of a small elite group. The international community's documentation of this lifestyle disparity serves as crucial evidence of the regime's hypocrisy and cruelty. These videos and reports that North Korea wants deleted forever provide undeniable proof that the government's claims about caring for its people are complete fabrications. What shocked you most about these leaked videos from North Korea? Have you seen other evidence of the regime's human rights abuses that the world needs to know about? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know what other secretive countries or hidden stories you'd like me to investigate next. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos exposing the truth behind the world's most secretive regimes. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.